Today we are going to be touring my recreation of the Witch's Cottage from the 2020 movie Gretel and Hansel. I think I got the shape pretty good. I'll insert a picture here showing what the shape of the cottage is so that you can see the similarities in shape. I would have liked to make the color of the cottage less red and more of like a deep dark brown, but with paneling and more like ornate paneling. But unfortunately, at least for me, that wasn't an option. I don't have every single pack. Maybe it is for someone who has all the packs. And I obviously wish that I could have had like nice yellowy windows with the dark exterior, but I think it turned out pretty well. Obviously this was a slide in the movie, but I only had the closest option that I had, in my opinion, were the swings, so I just kept those. And it's just a really cute cottage. This room kind of glitched out, which is why there's a gap here. I was using platforms and I think that had something to do with it. But overall, I really, really like this house. I did as best of a recreation of the interior as I could, but they don't show you absolutely everything in the movie. So you just kind of have to, in a sense, do some guesswork as to how it is laid out. So there was a loft, I remember that in the movie, and there was like a fence up into the loft. And in this area, I know that Gretel and the witch Holda practiced some witchcraft up here. So I figured that this would be a good kind of like study area. I wasn't sure about how the entrance would look. I know that there were platforms in the house and there was like a mural with trees in it. So I really wanted that, and I obviously needed the stained glass windows, even though I didn't get them in the color combination that I wanted. I needed them because there was always really nice light shining through the stained glass. And then, of course, we needed a proper kitchen. So I made a pretty decent sized kitchen in here. Again, with that mural along the wall that seemed to stretch across multiple rooms. And I remember from the movie, Hansel snuck in through this window to get to the dining room, which you could see through that window clearly. Don't mind the glitched out carpet. I tried to remove it to see if it would work. And it didn't. It just stays there for some reason. But, you know, we're not going to worry about that. But, so that's why I put this window right here. And I really like the way that the platforms, even though they kind of made the house glitch out a little bit, I really like how they turned out. And one of the, because I actually made a recreation of the character from the movie, like when she's not a witch, like, or an old woman, when she turns to her younger original form. I made a sim who looks like her, who lives here. And one of her hobbies is baking and cooking. So she has a refrigerator full of a bunch of excellent baked goods to fill this table up with. Even though she's a vampire, so she doesn't really eat them. And then I remember there was a hallway in the movie going off of the dining room, so that's why I had that. I know that there was a bedroom with 2 twin beds. I know there was a nice stained glass window in there and a mural, and there was like wood walls, walling, paneling. So I ended up going with this, and I put some kids' toys here. But I didn't want to decorate it a tremendous amount because the wallpaper makes it so busy anyway that I just wanted to put the essentials. And oh yeah, Holda is this baby is an object, as we all know. But Holda has begun her, I guess, journey to grow a vampire family. And that is little Arthur. And then here we just have a simple little bathroom. She doesn't need to go to the bathroom, but you know, the option's there. This is her faux bedroom for when guests come and they think she sleeps here. But then we go to the broom closet. And if you remember in the movie, I really wasn't sure where to put the broom closet. If I'm being 100% honest, I kind of feel like the broom closet should have been here. And maybe I should have put an outhouse in the back. I don't know, I didn't go that route, but that might have actually been the correct way to do it. But just for the sake of this house being functional for the character, I went ahead and I put the broom closet here. And if you recall, Gretel finds a secret door. So I thought this was perfect for the secret door. Honestly, if we could have used a pet door, and a human could get through it, I probably would have put that because it was a very, very tiny door. I remember that. So we have this secret door that leads. Don't pay attention to this. This is just a cat box. We had to have a cat box. So I hid it in here. That's the one you don't want to go into. But if you recall from the movie, the secret door leads down into this white stone room. And that is when we get here. Into the white stone room. If you recall, there was the dining table, which she spreads the materials on and turns them into a feast. So I went ahead and I put the table here, and here's the chair that Hansel sat in, I guess, when Gretel found him. If you recall, there was a nice huge curtain. I couldn't actually have like a huge curtain, so I just had to put a bunch of curtains here. And then behind them, I thought it would be appropriate to have because there was like a huge fire pit in the movie. So it was like, it changed colors. I remember it was like greeny blue at one point, which is why I put this fireplace, first of all. The fireplace, when you turn it on, oh, it looks like she's making food. Interesting. You wouldn't think that would be put there, and you'd think I could also, there we go, move right there. But when you turn this particular fireplace on, it has a really nice blue light to it. So I thought that was really appropriate, but I didn't want to have a whole wall of fireplaces. That seemed kind of weird. So since this room is about, like, I guess, manifesting food in one way or another, I decided to put like a second kitchen down here. And then in the movie, there weren't any other rooms that we know of. But I decided to take some creative freedom because I did make her a vampire. At first, I really wanted her to be a spellcaster, But I went ahead and I made her vampire because I thought I could make her into both, but that obviously wasn't a possibility due to the game not allowing it. But I thought I could do it, and so I was stuck with her already being a vampire, so I just went with her being a vampire. And the reason why I made her vampire is because obviously vampires feed on the flesh of people, and that was kind of reminiscent of Holda, so I went ahead with that. And I made this huge vampire layer here with I used pink and then black rock to make it look like it's like a bloody pool going around the area of the basement, as you can see. And here, there's like a little private exit into what I would consider the master bedroom, the one that Holda lives in. I decided to, well, I mean, she's a vampire, so she can really cultivate every single skill there is. But right now, she's really focusing on playing the violin. And we obviously have a little bed. She has a cat. I decided, actually in the movie she has a cat too. The cat was a bald cat and I decided to not go that route, but yeah, it's okay. And she has her own obviously private bathroom. I don't know why I put a toilet in here. That was an odd choice, but you know, I already did it, so we're just gonna go with it. But yeah, I also decided to stay with the white color scheme of that one room that we know was in the basement of the movie, just to kind of make everything flow. And I decided to put the bathtub on a platform here because I had just seen Crimson Peak. There was a shot where the main character, the protagonist, was taking a bath in this really cool, like, dilapidated bathroom, and the bathtub was up on a pedestal, and I just thought that looked really, really cool. So I went with that in here. And originally I had a big cauldron here, but it's not usable, so I put an organ so we can go ahead and listen to music as we swim in the pool here. I have my plasma trees hidden down here. I have some up in the yard too, but I decided to have some down here. And then we have some some bedrooms for Sims when she's able to grow her family a little bit bigger. And right now it looks like we can only have 2 additional vampires, but at least living with her. But I might make a second story basement if I'm being honest. So we can go ahead and have even more. But right now, have the max 8, I mean. But right now, we have 2, and I kind of already designed the personality of the other 2 Sims that will be in these rooms when they get older. She obviously has a son, as you saw. His name's Arthur. I'm thinking that, I'm not quite sure. Maybe he won't be the artist, but one of them is going to be an artist. That'll be their favorite thing. And then this might be Arthur's room. Usually we have a computer here, but Holda can't control herself, and 100% of the time always wants to go on the computer rather than do anything else. So we took that away. But yeah, this will be his room. He's more of like a old school kind of a scholar type guy. That's why he likes to play chess. I should really put a like a tiny living book like book stack here, I guess you can say. Book segment, book section, so he can read. And then when he gets old enough, he can pour a drink from here. And yeah, I just really like the way that turned out. And now that you've seen the house, let's take a look at Holda herself in Create a Sim so that I can show you closer what she looks like and like give you like a side by side image of, oh yeah, she's scared, this house is haunted, which is in character with the house because there have been so many lives lost in this house. Alright, so here's Holda. I tried to make her as best as I could look like the young version of her from the movie, and I actually think I did a pretty good job. I had to make some compromises with the hair. So with the hair, I was stuck between the one that we have because it has the correct bangs, and this hair because it has like the waves in it like in the movie. But I went ahead and I just went with this one because the bangs are really effective, and if she could stop growling, I could give you a side by side by the actress and her, and I think I did a pretty good job for Sims without using any CC. And I believe I couldn't really find a good still, but I'm pretty sure she just wore like a simple black dress when we got to see her. So I gave her just a simple black dress. And we have her cat, Beelzebub. How cute, right? And for her traits, we made her aspiration to be a master vampire. She's evil, of course, and a foodie, yes. She's very confident. So this was Holda. And as I mentioned, she is trying to build a vampire family. So I may create a second level of the basement for more vampires to live. But I also may create a third level to the basement, and just make like a total labyrinth of like a vampire, like I guess a dungeon, to where I think that she is going to ask a bunch of townies to, because she is very flirty. She's had quite a few. That's the baby daddy. She tried to make a baby with him, but it didn't work. She flirted with Kyle Plop, but also scared him. But yeah, she, and even the flower bunny, I know. So she's had quite a few people who she's flirted with, and she's not done yet. But I think that she's going to go ahead and possibly collect townies that she becomes, very romantically connected with, and I'm going to put them in the lowest level of the basement. With things so they can live, like a kitchen and a bathroom and stuff like that. But yeah, basically she's just gonna keep them down there so that she can snack on them. And I don't know, because I think, because I don't have that many like nasty Sims. I mean, I do have like one family, but I really don't like playing them. And I think that I'll have a funner time playing with her because she's like supernatural and spooky and based off of like a movie character. But yes, I have already uploaded the house to the gallery. I am WaffleCatCreates, the same icon as I have for YouTube. And I probably will upload Holda too. I haven't yet, but I probably will upload Holda just in case you guys want to play this nasty mean character in this recreation of a movie house. But yeah, I thought that this was obviously the perfect lot too for this house because it's just like in the middle of nowhere. Just stumbled upon. And yeah, so I hope you guys had a fun time touring this house with me. I had a lot of fun building it. It was a challenge because I wanted to make it as close to the movie as possible. But like in most movies, the floor plan that's actually like shown in the house doesn't necessarily match the exterior because they use sets rather than actual houses. So I kind of had to make it work and like fudge it a little bit. But overall, I really like the way it turned out. I like the story that I'm building here. And I just wanted to thank you guys for hanging out with me. And I hope you have a good night.